Hello, culés! What's happening right now, it's not just a transfer story. It's a story that started with a regular photo in Las Rozas and ends, well, almost ends, with a dream you all share. Yes, I'm talking about Nico Williams, and today I'll tell you how June 2025 became a turning point in his and maybe Barca's story, and what's even going on with this move. Let's go! But before we begin, as always, I kindly ask you to support me and my team with a like. Thank you. The 31st of May, Nico arrives at the Spanish national team camp in Las Rozas, preparing for the Nations League Final Four. In the video, next to him, Barcelona boys Fermin and Pau Barcín. Looks like nothing special, right? But if only you knew how much was hidden behind those smiles. A few weeks earlier, Williams had groin issues. His participation in the tournament was in question, but Luis de la Fuente trusted him, and Nico didn't say no. Some people now say without this camp, he wouldn't have become so close to Barca, and I believe that 100%. Because what happened next? Spain beat France and lost to Portugal, but the most interesting things happened off the pitch. Nico spends time with the Barcelona guys. Yes, Boldo wasn't in the squad at the moment, but Cubarsí, Fermin, Pedri, Gavi, Dani Olmo, and of course Lamine were all there. All guys he's long been on the same wavelength with. And if you've ever seen Lamine talking warmly to someone, you know, that's already a sign. Then even more interesting, a week of negotiations, plans, future transfers. At the same time, talks about Juan Garcia, Yamal's contract until 2031, new steps to register Olmo. It's all part of a mosaic, and in it, there's a place for Nico. And then 4 days after returning from Germany, boom! Nico's agent Felix Teinta meets with Deco in Barcelona. Again, exactly 1 year after Nico had already said yes and then changed his mind and stayed at Athletic. But this time, something changed. Deco dreamed of Luis Diaz, but financially it was a disaster. With Nico, it's simple. There's a release clause. And the guy said yes again. And as soon as the public hears about it, what does Lamine Yamal do? Post a photo with Nico in his Instagram story. Super clear hand. The following week, June 18th, 19th, everything gets settled. Contract agreed, clause between 62 and 64 million euros. Barca just needs to activate it. Those same days, Deco goes to Ibiza. They say it's unclear whether to meet Nico or to talk about the transfer with Hansi Flick and Formentera. But the topic was definitely the same, Nico Williams. And then the 24th of June, Nico's agent officially informs Athletic the player wants to move to Barcelona. The final act is near. Even Rafinha, Barcelona's captain who might lose his spot because of this move, supports the transfer. Imagine what kind of team this is, when even competitors wish each other success. And Nico meanwhile has to deal with the insults on a mural in Baracaldo, but he's already on a new path. The story is almost written, 1 page left. Plus payment and La Liga registration. So culés, feels like we're on the verge of culmination. All the threads of this story are coming together right now. This week we might finally get the finale of the long-awaited saga called Nico Williams transfer to Barca. Initially, Barca planned to activate the clause in early July. They even mentioned the date, July 2nd. But how will it actually happen? Clause activation dates are unpredictable. Remember Juan Garcia? But one thing is certain, the club is absolutely sure Nico will become a Barca player. And you know what's most interesting? He's already been seen doing something very symbolic. According to Gigantes, Nico already booked a place to celebrate his birthday. And guess where? In Barcelona. Coincidence? I don't think so, because Williams' birthday is on the 12th of July, and the very next day, on the 13th, Barca's preseason begins with medicals. Athletic, by the way, starts training on the 9th of July, but due to national team games, Nico was supposed to join later. Still, he chooses to celebrate in Catalonia while his current club is already training. That's a sign. And here's another fun fact. Nico celebrates on the 12th and Lamine Yamal on the 13th. Saturday and Sunday. Guess who'll be celebrating together in Blaugrana colors? But at the same time, not everything is smooth. Nico's mural in Barca was vandalized again, despite attempts to restore it. Yes, Athletic fans are not happy, and even though the transfer seems almost done for us, Bilbao has launched a counter-attack. The moment it became known that Nico officially told the club he wants to move to Barca after the 58 million euros clause is paid, Athletic's management started heavy resistance. They want to block the transfer. They simply won't let him go. The club even issued a statement. We thank La Liga for full transparency during the meeting, and at the same time declared that Athletic will defend its interests to the end, within the framework of financial fair play approved by all professional clubs, signed by La Liga and Athletic presidents Tebas and Uriarte. So what do we have? On one side, Nico already planning his birthday in Catalonia. On the other, Athletic throwing everything they've got to stop the move. And somewhere in the middle, Barca fans, waiting with bated breath for the click. activation of the clause. Honestly, this whole noise is more farce than real drama. First of all, it was Nico who made the step toward Barca, and he has every right to do so. Secondly, Athletic knows perfectly well that he wants to leave this summer, whether to Barca, the Premier League, or anywhere. There were rumors about Real Madrid, but somehow no outrage like now. Athletic's complaints to La Liga about supposed Barca violations absurd. La Liga watches Barca's finances minute by minute, especially after the whole saga with the famous financial levers. Everyone knows Barca completely changed their financial strategy, proven by the successful refinancing of the Spire Barca debts. Few clubs in the world can pull off such an operation, and even fewer earn like that club does. Now Barca follows the one-to-one rule and can sign new players, because the club obeys the law, and La Liga benefits from a strong Barca with Nico, rather than losing the start to the Premier League, which frankly would suit Athletic more. The main thing now is not to delay. Nico wants to move, the money is there, salary terms agreed, and La Liga just needs to determine Barca's wage cap. If all that happens, the transfer will happen in the coming days. And after that, let them check, complain, do what they want. But the truth is, players play where they want, and in the end, they always get their way. Let's recall some moments from football history. Remember the summer of 2000? Real Madrid takes Figo from Barca. The Portuguese says, "I came to Madrid to win big titles." Right to the face of a club that made him a star. Yes, I know, that hurt. And summer 2017, Neymar leaves for PSG, a club Barca fans don't even have a rivalry with, like with Real Madrid. But again, pain, anger, trolling on social media. The Parisians took what Barca couldn't hold. And now Bilbao is upset about Nico. Seriously, what about Nico Martinez, whom they themselves took from Real Sociedad via clause in 2018? Haven't we all seen them poach talent from across the Basque region for years, ignoring what fans of other teams feel? And when Barca does the same, it's a scandal? The truth is, in football, almost no one is a saint. Clauses exist, contracts expire, and clubs are in monasteries. Liverpool's hurting over Trent and Real. Paris is still boiling over Mbappe. If a transfer isn't mutual agreement, it always hurts. And Barca knows that well. So yes, you all understand Bilbao's pain. Barca fans know what it's like to lose, because they've lost. Neymar, Dembele, Messi, they went through it all. Clauses, insults, disrespect, but no one complains to La Liga. We just learn to move on. Now an answer, like Figo's. Nico at Barca will achieve what he never could at San Mamés. And it's true, it's not arrogance, it's the difference between someone fighting for La Liga and someone dreaming of top 5. And honestly, it's not about money, principles, or rules. Bilbao just can't accept that he chose Barcelona. Not Arsenal, not City, not Chelsea, not Bayern, Barcelona. So let's stop pretending. Barca isn't a friend of Athletic, not relatives, not allies. The Nico story isn't about fair play, it's about one thing, anti-Barcelonismo. We are rivals, and we're two of only 3 clubs that have never been relegated from Spain's top division. If Athletic doesn't want to let Nico go, let them convince him to stay. But it's not Barca's fault that he decided to leave. They simply can't keep their star this time. Yes, maybe Barca could have been more delicate in public, but honestly, this leak didn't come from the club, and even if it did, let's not act like saints. Because rumors are already flying that the money Athletic gets for Nico will go toward another transfer, Aymar Ross. And what now? Should Osasuna start screaming they've been robbed? Football is always a game of the big against the small, and as much as it hurts, the law is simple. Either you take or you get taken from. And this time, Athletic is the one being taken from. Just like they once took from Sociedad. I've always liked Athletic, their philosophy, their history, San Mamés atmosphere. But what's happening now, it's poison. It's not dialogue between clubs anymore. It's real hostility that probably won't end painlessly. And you know what's funniest? Everything Barca does irritates them. Barca signed Juan Garcia, outrage. Nico hasn't even arrived and it's already a scandal. And it's only the start of the summer. So yes, the club has ambition. Yes, they want the best. And yes, this is Barca. If that makes someone angry, well, they'll have to deal with it. What do you think? Is Athletic's reaction fair or just football jealousy? Write in the comments. Also, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.